All right, so the internet is completely abuzz today with this story about the Muslim cop who killed an Australian woman in Minnesota. I can't find even any factual evidence that this cop is a Muslim. He might very well be. I think the main evidence for that is that his name is Muhammad. Let's not let a little thing like facts get in the way. I mean, his name's Muhammad, right? And maybe he is a Muslim. Let's say for a moment that he is a Muslim. That has absolutely nothing to do with it. And people are going to say, Gavin, don't you realize that ISIS and Muslims are destroying us? And I'm going to be like, no, I don't. Our own government, our own treasonous government, who also created ISIS and who funds the terrorist acts against us and the entire world. Justine Damon from Australia, I believe she was going to be married next month. Vibrant young woman. She called the 911 for something, and she committed no crime, and they just showed up and killed her. Because police do that, guys. That's what's left of law in America. Police do whatever they want. They're trigger-happy psychopaths. That's what the blue line is trained to be. Identified as Muhammad Noor, all right? So, and very sad story here. Very sad story. I mean, this family must be just incredibly grieving. Muslim cop who shot woman in cold blood had 3 complaints against him. Maybe before we let something pesky like the facts get in the way, we should all just take comfort in the idea that Muslims are the real problem. Our corrupt government, our treason, our abuse of our people, and our terrorizing of the entire world is not the problem, because America is great, right? I mean, we have a Republican administration now. I mean, no, they're not actually doing any of the things they said they would do, and they're increasing asset forfeiture, and they're increasing the prison population, and all that kind of stuff, but it's about freedom, right? Let's look at the numbers, because this isn't about Muslims. This is about the blue line. And that is what America does not want to deal with. Here it is, July 15th. Here's the killing listed. This site keeps very up to date on this. Since then, there have been 4 other people killed by police, right? But there's no outrage because there's no narrative. It goes on and on and on. Now, this is just this year, the people that have been executed. 665 is what we're at so far on July the 17th, you guys. On average, the police in America kill about 2 to 3 people a day. Let's look at 2016. There were 1,162 people killed by the police. Gavin, those police have a right to protect themselves, and most of those killings were justified.
Do the crime, do the time. Freedom! She should have done what the cops said. Then she wouldn't have got shot. If you don't comply with police, you should expect to be shot. They're the authority. Obviously, the cop was justified. Have you seen his record? I mean, he saved a puppy. Freedom! Wait! A Muslim cop shot somebody? That cop was a Muslim and had 3 complaints against him? It's a jihad invasion!
You can look these up. Many of these incidents have videos, they have stories behind them. In almost every case, the killings by the American police are not justified, they are not warranted, and even more so, while everyone has a right to defend themselves, almost all of these incidents were an incident created by the police, an illegal stop or an illegal arrest created by the police for revenue. Last year, 1,162 people were killed by the police. What about the ones that were white Christians, or that were black, or that were Mexican, that were cops killing people? Are you outraged about that? From Lavoy Finicum last year, to Dylan Noble, right? To this young lady here. Guys, it's not a Muslim problem. You have to get your head out of your propaganda. As long as they keep us divided by faction and hate. Now, as a Christian, I may disagree with Muslims. And I'm certainly not going to stand idly by and let them violate people, right? But let's not pretend. In this country, it's our government killing us. Okay, our police, the blue line, kill more Americans in a year than all the terrorists cells combined. The US government and all the way down to our city governments are at war with your rights. And the narratives they feed you always have to do with faction or religion, or weak-minded people and journalists feed on these narratives from both sides. Weak-minded viewers and readers swallow those narratives, regurgitate them, reshare them, and spread the fear. Now, we can spin all the fake narratives we want, but the fact is, our police and our government are at war with freedom right here on our soil. Not one sheriff will stand up to them. There should be accountability for this woman's murder, but it has nothing to do with whether the person was a Muslim. It has to do with the fact that a person was killed. We don't have a Muslim problem. We have a blue line problem. We have a heart problem. We have a humility problem. We have a truth problem. We have an intelligence problem. And we have to stop being asleep and start loving our neighbor.